I get to that point where when you have weeks like this, it's just a no-nonsense type of moment. And to me, it's been mentioned several times, I've been really disappointed in a few weeks leading up to it, but the weeks after we passed the Fiscal Commission Act, to see so much of the fear-mongering going on about, trying to get something done. Like, we all recognize that we have a massive problem if we don't get ahead of our debt and deficit woes that have persisted for 25 plus years. And it's been really, really frustrating to watch. I don't really need you to expound on it. This isn't something you'd ever vote on and may not even be heavily involved. I don't know to what extent, but my ask to you would be, could you help cut through? Would you be willing to commit to cut through all of the nonsense that's going on? The fear-mongering about Social Security, and it's just a cut to these programs. It's not. And the fear-mongering also from the right that this is just a way to sneak away into increased tax. None of us want to sneak any taxes. My questions are all about tax. Would you be willing to commit to at least dialoguing in a non-political tone among the folks that you interact with?
Congressman, you have my commitment to do that. Look, there are different ways to dialogue. I appreciate some of the hearings have, it's 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes of back and forth. It doesn't really lend itself to real dialogue, but I'm open to having a conversation with you longer. I have lots of ideas on things. I've been around, and you have my commitment to always be available for those conversations.
So I questioned Secretary Yellen one time. I'll never forget when she responded, and I think it's such an easy way to grasp tax policy. Prior to the TCJA, taxes among many businesses were around the 35% range. We lowered them to 21. It's easy to just split the difference. Do you have any specific analysis that can point or prove that raising the corporate tax rate in this current environment won't impose burdens on low and middle income Americans and won't be putting our companies at a disadvantage globally by raising that tax rate up 7%?
So thank you, Congressman. One, you know that we used to have about 2% of our GDP from corporate tax rates. We're down about 1%. Other global economies that are in our peer group have about 3% of their GDP from corporate tax rates. So we believe we are underachieving in corporate tax rates. We also have to remember something Secretary Yellen has worked on, the global tax minimum. Some countries have actually taken us up on that proposal. Our budget asked Congress to do that. We believe it prevents companies from looking to offshore to hurt our American workers. And countries have signed on and done that to make sure you can't just go to a third country and hide from your tax obligations. So we think those proposals mean we ensure that our corporations don't offshore, which they're doing today, and they pay what they're supposed to, and we bring our corporate tax rates as a percentage of GDP back to its historic norm, not even what other countries are doing.
My biggest fear of this is this just becomes an arbitrary number and let's just split the difference. And I know there's industry out there that skirt by and that others are going to be hit really hard with a 28% tax increase. And these are good, hardworking American brick and mortar type companies that will drastically be affected. I want to just ask one more thing. 99% of businesses are categorized as small business, 500 or fewer employees. They do their taxes, though, oftentimes on an individual basis. Raising the tax rate to exactly 39.6%, will that affect these small businesses if that's how they do their taxes, and so many companies do?
We don't believe so. And speaking of this president's policy over the last 3 years, he is committed to small businesses. We believe his policies are the reason we've seen over 16 million new business applications filed during his first 3 years. And we're committed. Our SBA budget speaks to this. I know you're short on time. I won't go into our proposals, but we are truly committed. You're absolutely right. They're the backbone of our economy. What we're talking about is going after those high-value, high-earning corporations, not small businesses.
We are on a strong economic recovery, but we still have TCJA in place. And I want to just make sure that point is made. That can't be overlooked. Thank you, Chairman. I yield back.